goes inside.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. I'm Mike Arning with True Speed Communication on behalf of everyone at GoDaddy, Stewart-Haas Racing, Tony Stewart, and Danica Patrick want to say thank you for attending today's press conference. We'll go ahead and go over a couple housekeeping items first. Obviously, we'll let our folks speak. We'll then have a car unveiling. We'll stop briefly so that our video photogs and still photographers can get plenty of shots of that. And then we'll bring Danica and Tony back down for a Q&A session. And then afterward, when that's all wrapped up, we'll go ahead and make them available for one-on-ones. During that period, that will also serve as Tony Stewart's media availability for this weekend. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Tony Stewart and Danica Patrick front and center here in front of their soon-to-be unveiled race car. And Tony, it's been a heck of a week. A win Sunday at Martinsville, a sponsor announcement Tuesday at Stewart-Haas Racing, number 3 on the speed charts here in opening practice at Texas, and now you get to announce some key components of Danica Patrick's 2012 Sprint Cup schedule. Take it away.
Yeah, life's good right now, so can't complain at all. This has been an awesome week, obviously, like you mentioned, Mike, getting the win at Martinsville, and just everything involved this week. And obviously today is a huge day for us. This has been a long time coming, obviously, and I know the announcement came out earlier about our partnership with Danica, but it's really nice to be here today and to be able to unveil the car in front of you guys and be able to fill you in on the schedule for this year. So pretty excited. It's been a really good week, like we mentioned, and and obviously a great start to the day. So we say it's like the Matt Kenseth deal here. If you qualify up front here, normally that means you're going to have a good race. So I'm pretty excited so far with the week.
Excellent. And Tony, if you want to go ahead and let folks know what her races are and I guess the methodology behind those races.
Yeah, and just to kind of give you guys a background of what we did is we took the whole schedule and tried to find races that we thought were going to be, I guess to a certain degree, really challenging for her. So we wanted to pick tracks that we thought we needed to put some emphasis on. Obviously, her partnership in the Nationwide Series with Junior Motorsports next year and getting to run the whole Nationwide schedule helps a lot. And that was a factor, too, knowing which racetracks she was going to get to participate in and which ones that she wasn't. But we're going to definitely start off with the Daytona 500, obviously, in February. Go to Darlington, then wait till the Bristol night race in the fall. Atlanta, Chicagoland in September, the Dover race in September, then here in Texas in November, and Phoenix in November. And I know those of you that are math majors realize that's 8 races. Some of you didn't know that, and we're going to figure it out later on, so I'm going to help you all now. But we're keeping 2 dates open right now just to make sure that we'll see how the start of the season goes and make sure that we can kind of call an audible, so to speak, that if we see a place or that Danica feels like there's a track that she felt like she struggled at, that we have that flexibility to plug those 2 dates in. So we will run 10 full races with her, but we're going to set these first 8 races in stone, and then we'll have a little flexibility to run the other 2.
All right, and Danica, a 10-race schedule, 8 of which are known on a pretty wide array of tracks. Your thoughts going into this?
Oh, boy. Darlington will be a handful. I actually enjoyed Bristol, but I'm betting that once I get out there with you guys, it's going to be a whole nother level. And, I know Atlanta's pretty challenging and has some unique characteristics. Is this correct? Yes.
Definitely.
Dover was a handful last year. So anyway, but we'll be at Chicago and Texas, which are places I feel a little bit more comfortable. But I know this is a fast track, a fast mile and a half, so it's good to get that experience. And I'm excited. I mean, there's a lot I'm worried for, but on the other hand, as I've kind of felt with my nationwide races so far, is that, and in particular, of course, the more difficult tracks, is that expectation levels sometimes are not quite as high. So, you have the ability to make mistakes, and that's the plan, is that there's going to be mistakes and there's going to be learning curves, and, to get that out of the way before we try and do this full time and really try and put it together. So it's about making the most complete future possible with the limited schedule of experience. So thanks a lot, Tony.
And Tony, if there's anyone who knows what Danica has in front of her, it's you. 4 USAC championships, an IZOD IndyCar Series championship, all before 2 Sprint Cup championships. And if there ever was a roadmap to successfully navigate from open wheel to stock cars, you've probably done it. Is that accurate?
I would like to think so, but it's been a fun journey for me, and I think that's what's going to make this such a fun journey with Danica, is knowing that the things that she's going to be experiencing going from the Indy cars to the Cup cars, the same thing that I had to go through too. So it's a nice feeling for me knowing that when she talks about something, I'm going to understand it from firsthand experience. But I'm just worried about how far into this 10-race deal it's going to be before she absolutely hates me because of where I'm sending her. But like we mentioned, this is all in an effort to get ready for 2013, and if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth doing, obviously. So it's part of the learning curve. My job in the equation is to make sure that she wants to win at everything she does. She wants to beat me to the appearances and everything else. So the big thing is just keeping everything in mind that it's a learning year next year, and the experience that she's going to gain at these racetracks, it's hard to get that by doing anything else other than going there and learning by putting laps in. So it's an aggressive schedule and an ambitious one for somebody that hasn't been in a Cup car yet, but at the same time, to compete at this level, you're going to have to be good at these tracks, and that's why we selected them.
As long as you'll be right there by my side, holding my hand, we'll get through this.
As much as I can. It's going to be hard to hold your hand while you're dragging me down the road. So.
And Danica, on that
we worked
note,
pretty well at Daytona. So.
On that note, when you began looking at NASCAR as a career choice, how helpful was Tony in letting you know what there was to expect out there?
Well, we've known each other for a really long time. I remember seeing you at convention-like places, and I would always be with my dad usually, and be like, "Wow, that's Tony Stewart right there," and we have,
Is that exactly how you said it?
I don't normally blush, but I almost felt like I did. Yeah, because we'd be whispering, because you'd be right there.
That's funny.
So it'd be about like
I'd
that.
see you at appearances, I'd go, "That's Danica Patrick."
Well, I know we've talked many times over the last, I don't know how long, 5 to 10 years that we've really known each other, and I think that the real benefit's going to come right now when I get to do this and drive for you and be able to ask a lot of questions and get answers and get help. I mean, that's what I need. I felt like in this whole process, I'm like, come on, what do you got to tell me? I'm ready for any advice I can possibly get, and I'll try and do the best job possible to do it. But yeah, I mean, we've definitely known each other a long time, but this is going to be the most important time.
All right. Well, it wouldn't be a press conference without a car unveiling. So we'll allow our folks to come on up here and take the wraps off the GoDaddy.com Chevrolet Impala, and we'll let everyone kind of get situated. And we'll also leave plenty of time for our still photogs and our video photogs to get plenty of B-roll.
like how I cleverly tried to hold my hair over my arm.
And Danica, you were just saying how you got to pick your own number.
Yeah.
There is a history here with the number 10. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, my favorite number's always been number 10. I drove the number 10 go-kart when I was a kid until I went to Europe and then onwards and so forth. And in IndyCar, you tend to run just the numbers that the team has. So this is the first time I've ever, in a car in my professional career, ever been able to choose a number. And then to have the history of your team and you being able to run the 14, which was your go-kart number, and the 39 was Ryan's go-kart number, and seeing those big blown-up black and white photos of your old go-kart, you in the go-kart, was just really cool. So this is really neat for me. It's just the first time that I've ever been able to put a number on my car that I chose and I like and has emotion to it. Other than that, it's been emotion that I've created, like, lucky number 7 or something. So it's very cool for me. I'm really excited. I'm excited to see my big go-kart picture hanging up in the race shop. I'm going to do mine in color, though, probably.
Yeah, believe it or not, they actually had color film when I raced go-karts, too.
Then, never mind then. Sorry, my mistake.
This isn't going to be any fun. I do want to say this, though. Working with everybody at GoDaddy.com so far and Stewart-Haas Racing, this was a long, long road to get this package put together, and I'm very appreciative to everybody at GoDaddy and all of our people at Stewart-Haas Racing that have done an awesome job to put this program together. And this is, like we just said, we're going to have a lot of fun with this. So
we are. And you said it's been a long time coming. We've been talking for a long time, and between you and Eddie and Brett and GoDaddy being supportive of me has been, like I said earlier today, having someone to back you on what you want to do. I'm really fortunate. There's not very many people in my position that just get to choose where they want to go. And to be honest, I didn't talk to anybody else. This was what we wanted to do. So it was very cool.
All right, GoDaddy, of course, the world's largest hosting provider and domain name registrar, and a couple other anecdotes on the number 10. The number 10 in NASCAR Sprint Cup Series competition has 10 total wins, including the 1990 Daytona 500. Ricky Rudd leads all drivers who have piloted the number 10 with 6. And Bill Champion has the most starts in the number 10 with 244. Last victory for the number 10, Johnny Benson back at Rockingham in November 2002. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions. Again, if you can state your name and affiliation, we'll take as many as we can. Obviously, Danica can be here for a bit. Tony does have Sprint Cup qualifying at 3:40, so we'll get him out of here at probably around 3:30. We'll go ahead and, Bruce, we'll start right with you.
Looking at the schedule, it seems to... BruceMartinSI.com. Looking at the schedule, seems to be heavily loaded at the tail end of the schedule. How much is that going to help you with all the... By then, you will have run every week in Nationwide. How much will that help you to have your Cup career kind of, most of the races are going to be at the back half of the schedule.
Well, now that you mention that, actually, it makes me think about the fact that we'll have time to even go testing and do some things like that, which we haven't done yet. So I think it's good. I think that any time you're trying to lead into the next year with something, you're trying to do the most you can at the end of the year, as close to the next season as possible, and that being our goal to run the next year. Yeah, I mean, it's I'm still running for the Nationwide Championship and still want to do really well in that. So it's good. It's actually even a little bit more broken up at the end of the year than I would have even maybe guessed it would be. But I think it's a nice schedule, and I think it's going to add plenty of variety.